Hey guys, Jenna here. Hope you're having a great day. Today we are going to talk about the top 5 things to help with coping through stress. So the coping skills or best self-care practices that I have found to be very beneficial with my clients and even in my own life. So we all know that self-care is very, very important. And the number one technique that I feel is crucial in battling stress is getting enough sleep at night. Now, our sleep can be negatively impacted by such things as a busy schedule and of course stress, which can be a bad cycle because if we're really stressed, it keeps us awake at night. It tends to stress us when we're trying to sleep. And yet, getting that sleep is so important to being able to reduce that stress. So the ways that we can battle that is we can use relaxation strategies to help us sleep, such as meditating, doing a guided meditation. There's some really fantastic YouTube videos on guided meditation to help with sleep specifically for adults and for children in case you have children that are having a hard time sleeping as well. Also, such things as taking a warm bath or a warm shower can really help with getting into that sleep state to be able to sleep well throughout the night. And I also wanted to mention that I tend to think that about 8 hours typically is good for an adult. I try and get a solid 8 hours of sleep at night, and that works really well for me, although different humans are different. So sometimes people need a little bit more, and sometimes people think that they can function pretty well on less, but I tend to gear towards a solid 8 hours. That seems pretty standard and pretty typical. The next thing that's incredibly important in battling stress is our nutrition and our exercise. Of course, we're used to hearing all of this as being pretty standard things for our health in general, but in battling stress especially, one of the main coping skills that we can apply is daily nutrition, which means getting in a lot of, your vegetables and getting a lot of fruits, and it's different for everybody. Again, each body type and each person needs different nutrition, and we're going to get into that a little bit more later, but basic nutrition, just really important. A poor diet can make someone much more vulnerable to stress, and it does every day, and that's something that we really struggle with, especially here in the United States. So that's something to think about. And a well-nourished body can handle so much more in general. That includes stress, it includes daily problems that we might face that might come up. So, really important. Of course, exercise goes hand in hand with that, and exercising regularly. So, I would say 3 to 4 times a week with having a good 30-minute cardio session at least is what's recommended by most physicians, and it's what I also promote as a therapist for my clients. Although I do see exercise and cardio especially is helping me specifically a lot with my anxiety and with that stress. I used to feel a lot of stress and anxiety with that. So bringing in that daily 30 minutes of hard cardio, that for me is what I consider my daily depression medication, my daily antidepressant. It really does wonders. And of course, it's different for every single person, but that is just highly, highly recommended. Also, something important to note here is that our lives are a sum total of our choices that we make every single day. So what we eat, what we put into our body, what we do with our body, the activity that we have, and of course, everything else that we're talking about today, these are all choices that we make, and our health is a sum total of that. Also, another key part of what exercise can do for our bodies physically, emotionally, and mentally is that it releases endorphins, which of course increase the feeling of well-being. So that's huge with decreasing stress and having and taking care of ourselves. Okay, number 3 on my list of the top coping skills for dealing with stress is maintaining a healthy social support network. Healthy social connections, really good, deep connections. Friends and family can pick us up when we're sad, and they can help us by providing insight to our lives when we're confused, stressed. And so it's really important that we have those connections and take time to develop those. Family and friends can also really help when we need a break or we need to blow off some steam. And it's important also that we reciprocate this. So it's important that we are also supportive and that we can lend a listening ear to them, because that helps us to feel the connection and it helps that connection to build up. As human beings, we just really need those human connections. That's just part of the way that we're built. Humans need connections. So the more that we invest in that and the more that we have those healthy social connections, both family, friends, whoever is there for us, the more that it's going to help with our stress reduction. It's very important. Okay, fourth, pamper yourself. That's taking time for relaxation and downtime, whether it means the stereotypical pamper yourself by going to the spa, having a spa day. Yes, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that. It just means taking a day, having fun days. So getting regular chiropractic adjustments and massage can also be very beneficial because it actually helps to release the stress from our bodies, which we're going to be getting into a lot more in the future in a webinar that we're preparing. And also that's a specialty of my husband, who he's also going to be giving further videos about that. Anyway, being able to release that stress and tension out of our bodies is very important, and that is included in this idea of pampering yourself and taking that time, taking those days off, and even having hobbies and fun things that you can do to release that stress and tension. Really important. Okay, last but not least on our list of the top 5 coping skills to reducing stress is processing through our emotions. Having healthy outlets for expressing and processing through our emotions is critical to stress reduction. Letting those emotions bottle up and become overwhelming, and that will increase anger, that will increase frustration, that will increase all sorts of bad feelings, and ultimately lead to huge heightened stress levels. I mean, we know that stress has these effects nowadays. So many studies have showed how, even certain studies will say how stress, the long-term effects of stress can cause things like cancer, heart attacks, high blood pressure. Of course, I'm not saying all of that as a physician. These are just some information that studies are showing in our daily lives. We've got to be able to release this, and having those healthy emotional outlets to be able to process through our emotions is so important. Regular meditation and talking with loved ones can help, and also things like visiting with a therapist regularly and having that as a venue to be able to process through our emotions. So critical to our health. So that's the end of my list of the top 5 ways and coping skills to decrease stress in our lives, and it's great self-care practice tips that you can use in your lives, and I hope that you apply them, and I hope that they were beneficial for you. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope to see you again soon in our future videos and also our webinar that's coming up. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Thank you. Bye.